Joining us live now is Norman Roule, a friend of the show. He's a former senior CIA official who's managed significant programs in the Middle East. Norman, good to have you with us. So what have you made of developments this morning? Certainly appears like this incursion's happening.
Good morning. The Israeli government is moving to the next phase of its campaign to push Lebanese forces north into Lebanon and away from Israel's border. They have conducted a tremendous series of air attacks, which have not only killed the vast majority of Hezbollah's longtime leadership, but have killed Hamas, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, and other militants on the border. The challenge is that airstrikes alone will not take out tunnels, will not take out all the installations that only ground forces can destroy. The further risk is that once they're in Lebanon, they will end up staying in Lebanon because the conflict will become a quagmire. That is the concern of the international community.
That's the thing about war, isn't it, Norman? Easy to get in, harder to get out.
Exactly. And the history of Israel's and wars with Lebanon have been exactly that. Short conflicts that turned into months-long, years-long conflicts that didn't necessarily achieve their goals. But Israel's goals are finite and clear. The end of Hezbollah rocket attacks on Israel and the return of 60,000 of its people to their homes. It is not the destruction of Hezbollah, which means if Hezbollah were to stand down, Israel's narrative for further incursions would be heavily undercut.
So this is according to American officials who have told the NBC network in America the limited ground invasion means limited in duration, limited in scope. So, yep, it'll be targeting infrastructure, tunnels, etc., like you said, plus stockpiles, weapons, facilities. But you're saying, or you're casting doubt on what limited in terms of time means. So if they're hoping days, it's probably unlikely.
Well, what I'm saying is that's impossible to predict, and the people who can predict the courses of a military conflict and say they could do so with confidence, you should ask first to predict lottery numbers.
So once they cross the border, they go into the tunnels and they take out these facilities. I mean, yeah. Then what do? Do they pull back, or do they just hang around and make sure things stay calm?
In theory, the Lebanese army could fill that void and provide security to keep Hezbollah from returning to its positions. In theory, the United Nations forces could do the same thing. The problem is, for the last 11 months, from the Israeli perspective, diplomacy has gone nowhere. The United Nations has failed. The Lebanese government has proven to be repeatedly unable to execute its responsibilities. Therefore, they must take things in hand.
How much confidence do you think Iran has lost with what's gone on in the past week or so, Norman?
Well, Iran's challenge is that it's able to support its proxies only when it has a connection to these proxies, a logistics line or a transportation line. That doesn't exist with the Houthis, Hamas, or Hezbollah. So at this point, Iran's only tools left remain terrorism around the world, or a missile attack. But the missile attack would be frustrated by the vast U.S. and partner military presence in the region, which provides a significant defensive umbrella over Israel.